Hello, my name is Lowell, and we are playing a session of Masks, a New Generation. Pronouns he, him, by the way, for me. This session is part of the Gauntlet Gaming Calendar, which is an online gaming community slash club that has a bunch of sessions every month. One of the things I'm trying to do over the next few months is doing two shots of some great games like Masks, and then of course I'm going to say Hearts of Berlin for people who maybe haven't played those, or for people who don't have as much time to commit to a longer series. So this is a two-shot with the premise of our young heroes being, maybe they're framed, maybe they did it, we don't know yet, but they're on the run from the authorities. Masks: New Generation is a game of young superheroes from Magpie Games. It's, I would say at this point, one of the foundational games of PBTA as it has developed. So what I'm going to do is walk through our cats, which is kind of the setup document, just so everybody's on the same page about what we're doing, so we can go through that. And after that, we're going to talk a little bit about mechanics, and we're going to talk what people are thinking about playbook-wise. So you are young superheroes just starting out. You're trying to prove your worth, to show who you are and to find yourself. You're inexperienced, which means that the general moves that you have access to have a lot of drawbacks to them. Like the basic moves, you're going to have a lot of flaws. If you were an adult and there are adult moves, they can do things competently. You really can't. Or things that you would like to be able to do, like persuade someone. You can't really persuade someone. You can like kind of provoke them to do what you want. So this kind of shifts on what you can do. That the playbook moves reinforce that, but the general moves for Masks really kind of set the tone for what you're going to be doing. Adults in this world, super or not, don't take you seriously. So we have a mechanic called influence that represents, it's a binary. Someone either has it over you or doesn't. And you can reject that influence. And influence means someone kind of, you want to live up to what they think about you. You're a young hero, but you have a new family of a kind in this team. But as I mentioned, your team is being challenged. And at the moment when we start this scenario, you're going to be seen as a threat and kind of on the run. We'll figure out exactly what that means. So our aim, our approach to the play today is we're going to create characters, choose playbooks, select some abilities. There are some backstory questions. We're going to figure those out. You don't have to necessarily write them in on your sheet. If you kind of know them when we go to introductions, you can kind of tell us what you're thinking about with those. There is a drop down for the playbook you choose, and that should populate all of that stuff on the character sheet. We'll set relationships and we'll establish influence. There's another step that's in there in the normal mask play, which is when we first got our team together. We're going to set those questions aside, because once we've done all of the relationship building things, we're actually going to instead do a set of questions about what happened. How did we get to this place? And that will take the spot that we would normally have for that. Our tone is super heroic, but with a lot of emphasis on emotion and relationships. It's not cartoony. It's not Go Teen Titans Go, but it's also not grimdark. So it's not that new Titans show. If you've watched that on HBO Max, wow. My touchstones are very much Young Avengers, the Young Justice series, Batman Beyond. All of those are kind of shows that are in the wheelhouse of the kind of tone we look for in Masks. So that's the general feel that we are going for. We are playing using a set of layered safety tools. These are the ones that I fall back on. These aren't necessarily the best tools or all of the tools, or I think another combination might be more to another GM's liking. But we're going to be using lines and veils. So we've got that as a tab in our character keeper. During the character creation process, make sure you take a look at that and see if there's anything you want to add to that. Again, line being anything definitely don't want to have in the game. Veil being anything that if it were to appear, we're going to either mention it at a distance or we're going to fade to black. And then ask first being, this is something, it'd be okay if we saw it at the table, but I definitely want to check in before we bring that to bear in play. So that's an important set of tools to take some time to take a look at that. We've also got a relationship matrix there. If you want to mark that out for other people's comfort about what you're interested in terms of character relationships and romance and those things. The second tool that we have is the X card, which can be done through using the signal or simply to say X card. The X card is for material that you find problematic, objectionable, that you find wildly off tone from the tone we've been playing with. If you find that someone's language is problematic, or if you find that someone's playing and maybe stepping on your boundaries, or crashing into your scenes or things like that. These are ways to kind of, X card is a good place to mark out that like stop that we need to recalibrate. If we're X carding a particular subject matter, we won't ask you to defend your choice at all. Just we may ask you where we need to cut back to like get around the situation. One of the useful tools, sort of the combination of lines and veils of an X card is if we're playing along and maybe we're starting to move towards something that we have a line or a veil on, but maybe we haven't caught it, that's a good time to X card to point out to people that maybe we're heading towards that territory. That's something that Tyler taught me. So that's the second level of our safety tools. The last level is our open door policy, which means if you need to step away for whatever reason, emotional, physical, someone's at the door, just step away. It'd be great if you could tell us, be right back, or I'm gonna be back in a few minutes, but you're not obligated to do that. As well, if we get done with the session and you're like, that is not the game I expected. That is not the game that I wanted to be playing right now. It is absolutely legit to email me and say, I think I'm going to open door out from the second session. That is your right. You should never feel obligated to play in a game that you're not enjoying. You should always have that room to leave if you need to. So those are all the basics. I talk fast. I have a Hoosier accent. I will say if you don't understand what I've said or I'm talking too fast, please just say, hey, can you repeat that? I will not object. I understand. I've listened to myself sometimes when I'm doing this, so I understand. So let me talk just briefly about important things to know when we go into masks, and then we're going to talk playbooks. Your stats are labels, and you've seen those on the sheet. They represent how you feel about yourself, how you picture yourself, whether you're more of a freak, whether you're more of a danger to those around you, whether you're a savior. These labels will shift. A lot of times when you do things, it will ask you to shift labels, or someone will apply their influence to you and ask you to shift labels. That is an important part of like how your characters sense themselves. And they may change quite a bit during the course of play. You may end up at the end of a session, like not where you started and maybe not what you thought your strength was. But that's one of the joys about masks is figuring out how to play when the labels maybe and your play aren't quite matching up. Related to that, the sort of damage track for this game is conditions. There are 5 conditions. They are states. Each condition gives a -2 penalty to particular move or moves. And there are different ways to clear those. There is a little pop-up when you mouse over the conditions that'll show you what's a penalty to and how to clear it when you look at that on the character keeper. There is an experience track. Potential is our experience. We're not going to bother about tracking potential because it's just a 2-shot, but you are going to get an advance at the start of next session. So you will get one advance, which is going to mechanically have a milestone, so you have a chance to improve your character. The last thing I want to mention, this took me a bit to get used to. There is a comfort and support action in this game, which is used to clear conditions and help people out that way. But the way we do our aid action, the way we help others, is you'll be spending points from the team pool. And the way it works is at any time, if someone has gotten a role and they're not as good as they wanted it to be, you can say, well, I want to help them. I want to spend a point of team from the team pool. And you can do it after they roll. You say how you do it, and then you give them a +1. You can only do that per player once in a particular action, but everybody could do it. So if you had enough team pool and everybody was ready to help out, they could all plunk in from the team pool. Some actions generate for the team pool, but the team pool is usually set at the start of a conflict. The other option is you can use your team selfishly. If no one's in a position to help, or maybe you're doing something that no one wants to help you with, you can use that team selfishly. You can spend a point of team to give yourself not a +1, but to shift a label by 1 and to take it up to whatever label you're rolling with. Keep in mind that when you shift a label up, you're always shifting another label down. But that's one of the ways you do that. And when you use team selfishly, then we ask, how have you hurt someone in the team? How has your selfishness impacted them? So those I think, are really important things. It took me a couple of times to get used to that. There are some other fiddly bits in here, but I wanted to go over that. Now, I'd like to go through and talk now about what people are thinking about playbook-wise. Jose, I always like when people are definitive about what playbook they'd like. Jose has taken the Outsider. So we have the Outsider as one playbook that is on the table. What I'd like to do is come around and see what ideas you have, if you're down to one that you definitely want, or if you have a couple that you want. So let's go in order of arrival. Mark, do you have a sense of maybe what you'd like to play?
Yeah, I was thinking of the Nova or the Doomed.
Okay.
The character concept is a character who has abilities that are related to gravity and nuclear force.
Okay.
Those kinds of things.
So Nova or Doomed, those are two good choices. Paul, do you have a thought about what you might want to run?
I am interested in either probably the Bull or I believe the Scion was the one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are both good and really interesting ones. And then Adam, what are you thinking?
I was actually thinking the Bull or the Scion.
Okay. Paul, if you had to flip between those two of those, which is what you'd lean towards?
Bull.
Okay. Are you okay with the Scion then, Adam?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Then we'll have you do the Scion. Mark, so we've got a Bull, we've got a Scion, we've got an Outsider. Given that, do you lean towards the Nova or the Doomed?
So in terms of completing team play, I don't know if there's a preference, but I think that I would prefer the Nova at this point.
Okay, absolutely. So we will have you do that. So go ahead and set your drop down to that particular playbook. There, it's on line 4, and that should set yourselves up. Make sure to put your own name, your character's name, give us pronouns for yourself and your character. Go ahead and work through the steps of creation. The text for your playbook moves is available. There is a tab called Playbook Moves that has the text for all of the moves for the different playbooks. It doesn't have everything there, but you can get the text for that. So go ahead and work up essentially all the way through up to backstory. Kind of look at that. And when we're kind of done with that, then we'll do introductions and talk about the relationships and talk about influence. So now I am going to sit here awkwardly while you do all this. And I'm going to try and mute myself. I'm also going to pause the recording, which is a trick that Shane taught me so that we can not have this big silence of character creation. Okay.
Okay, my name's Adam. I use he, him pronouns. I've been on the Gauntlet for a little over a year, but it's the first time I've been able to play Masks here, which I'm very happy about. I've played a bit of Masks before, so but I've actually run more games than played in them as a player. So I always welcome an opportunity to step into these shoes. The playbook I chose is the Scion, which is an offspring of an actual supervillain. And my hero name would be Rhinestone, and my father's name is Gravestone. This is no coincidence, because my father considers me a pale, crude imitation of himself, and well, everything he stands for. As far as the type of supervillain my father is, I chose Deadly Mercenary, and I think he's the head of a international, maybe sometimes interplanetary cabal of secret assassins and mercenaries and whatnot. I haven't got around to the skills of my father, but I think it would have to be something like superhuman martial prowess and maybe endless minions, because he has people under his command all the time. My abilities, meanwhile, are impressive martial prowess, because I have been trained by my father extensively since early childhood, and cosmic energies. I believe there's also some clearly supernatural element. How it manifests in practice, I'm not sure yet. Maybe we'll just play to find out. The moves that I've chosen are I'll show them, which is when you defend someone who doesn't believe in you, you can always take influence over them, even on a miss, which plays into the whole redemption arc nicely. And changed sides. When you mislead or trick an enemy by pretending to be on their side, roll plus danger, and there are effects that can be triggered this way. So I think both of these play into the whole dynamic of a reformed villain who really tries to separate themselves from their previous life, and but maybe when there's a need for some shady action, maybe they're not above returning to their old contacts or old ways of conduct, just to get their way.
Yeah, and you should feel especially flexible in this, because you've got that whole respect section to like, I'm going to call on this person, so you don't have to put all the names now. You can just pull them up as we go and play. So
okay. Yeah, I haven't got around to the respect part yet. What else do I have ready?
Let's look at your backstory. Like, we know who your parent is. Did you always know their true nature, or was that a revelation to you? Who told you that they were a villain?
I think I knew we were a team of specialists who were being hired and commissioned to do secret mission stuff, I didn't realize that the amount of damage we were actually doing. I was very young, I was very naive, and I idolized my father, I think, and just didn't think to question him. And the person who showed me the truth, I think it would be one of the city's superheroes. I'm sure we will get to establishing some of them.
Okay.
I think during one of the missions I was on, a superhero stopped us, and my father escaped, of course, because that's what he does. I didn't. I was captured along with some other members of the organization, maybe, and the hero showed me the extent of what we were doing. He showed me the collateral damage, the innocents that were hurt during our because of our actions. I didn't realize it. I believed that we were just pursuing some high priority target maybe, and didn't realize the amount of collateral damage that we did. And this opened my eyes, and this made me want to cut my ties with my father. But I don't think I've cut them quite as completely as maybe my teammates would think. I'm sure we will get to that. But I would like to keep this small chance of maybe contacting him whenever I really feel there's a need to do that.
I like that. So the big one, that last question is, why do you care about the team?
Well, they offer me the chance to do something good for a change. I think I've always been a part of the team, being raised in the organization, so I need that support system. I don't feel secure enough to strike out on my own, but these are people who also want to do good. I believe they also struggle with some issues. Maybe they struggle with some self-doubt, and so I can see that I'm not alone in that. And we support each other. I think that's the basic idea, and I need that support, and I'm doing whatever I can to support them in turn.
One last question before I go on. What does she look like?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I actually do have a picture
okay.
prepared. I think she is a blue-haired, slender lady. And now it's that moment when I wonder how I insert image into the.
If you go into
grid.
the cell and go to image, and then insert image in cell, it should then give you an upload.
Yeah, I've done that before. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I'm sure I will. Oh,
there we go. Oh, yeah. So that's great.
Yeah, it's some obscure Marvel character which I found when I was just browsing for blue-haired heroes, because for some reason I felt a blue-haired person vibe.
Okay. All right. I think that gives us a good sense of who she is. We'll come back to talk about those relationship questions and influence.
Okay.
Let's move on to Paul. Let's have you introduce your character.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Paul. He, him. My character's name, regular person name, is Joey Vega. His superhero name is Gigaweight. He is the Bull, which is like the big bruiser of the group. I forgot what was his name, like the Young Justice Superman character, like that kind of archetype. He is a guy, Filipino heritage, callous hands. Day to day kind of just wears like t-shirts and jeans, and his costume is basically just like a colorful MMA outfit. For his abilities, he has an increased healing factor. He has very perfect body control and increased reflexes, and he has a incredibly strong, and like some extending left arm. General moves is there when it matters because he likes to be there when people are in danger. And physics, what physics, because walls don't usually give him much issues for the most part. Who changed you? I'm not really sure which superhero yet, but there was an email that was sent out that he was lucky enough to get, like some sort of reward, like out of like 100 million people, he was the one guy who got his email to meet the superhero he always loved. So of course he trusted it and just went there. When he got there, it was like a weird lab, and before they could meet the superhero, they had to run a couple tests first, do a couple procedures, and of course, and it made sense. Like it's a pretty big superhero, and after like a week or so of that, maybe some training, he was rescued by the rest of the team. His older sister was super worried that he was gone for a while. But now with like all the things that's happened to him, it's cool because he can now be a hero because it feels nice to help people. And this team is great because they're like super cool, super nice, or at least that's what he his frame of reference is. And like it's the least he can do for rescuing, by being rescued by everyone else. He has a love and a rival, but I will wait.
Yeah, we'll do that relationships. Yeah. Are you imagining that because you've mentioned this hero that you were invited to see? Mm-hmm. Did they turn out to be sinister, or were they just using that name as a cover for this experiment?
It was actually like some sort of villain who sent out the email. The email usually doesn't get anyone like to come for the most part, as you kind of just like think they like try, and and Joey was the first one who ever came. Really, they were as surprised as he was when he came to the site.
And like now, who's taking care of you right now?
He stays with his older sister. He got yelled at a lot for just disappearing without letting her know. But the email specifically said to not let anyone know, or else like they couldn't like show the hero. It's a very like secret identity thing, so he couldn't tell anyone. But then they found him eventually, or the rest of the team did. So,
his older sister will get her name. And I think we have a sense of why you care about the team. Like this is important for that. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll come back to you and talk about that bull's heart thing after we do relationships. What do you look like costume wise?
Because of the procedures that happened to him, he is built like an MMA fighter, maybe like a not like a heavyweight look, like closer to like not really a featherweight, like somewhere in between. But yeah, his superhero costume is kind of just like a classic like bandana, like mask. And he has I believe like red and orange like MMA shorts, couple like hand wraps and like feet wraps, and I think he has like just really nice like just like running shoes, like athletic shoes that he has. Yeah.
All right, I think that gives us a good sense to we have to work from. We'll come back to you with the relationships. Next is Big Crunch.
Hi, I'm Mark. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Big Crunch, which is a reference to the possible end of the universe, opposite of the Big Bang. Big Crunch, his real name is Harry Jackson. He also uses he, him pronouns. And he is the Nova. The Nova is a font of power, and his power is related to gravity manipulation. So he can make things extremely heavy, extremely light. He can move things around a bit. His moves are boost because he likes to be able to help out his friends on the team. He also does shielding, which prevents people from being harmed. And his kind of offensive things are Reality Storm, which is a focused unleashing of his power, and Snatch, which is to grab something from someone else in a scene.
I like that. What does that gravity effect look like? Like, what's the on-panel image, the color or the shape or the Kirby dots that we see for your gravity power?
I think it is going to be like some motion waves, some like motion wave markers that are purplish.
Okay, I like that. You've got the color coding going for it. I appreciate that. So when did a Big Crunch first like find or use their powers?
I tied some of these backstory things together.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Since we're only going with two sessions. So first used his powers in elementary school dodgeball.
Okay.
It was getting down to the end of the game, and he and his lifelong friend Tori Davis were on opposite teams. Tori had the ball, and Harry, without even realizing it, snatched the ball from Tori's hands and then returned it without even apparently moving his arms, hitting Tori and knocking her out of the game. Unfortunately, he didn't have total control over that. So he did leave a gigantic welt on her arm when he returned that ball. And that was the first person that he accidentally hurt with his powers.
And then, so you grew up with these powers. Like, what was that like? How did that evolve? And who has helped you outside the team to come to control of that?
It has been it's been very difficult for Harry to deal with. He has tried to suppress them as much as he could because it makes him a freak, and he realizes that, and so he tries to be kind of as normal as he can around people, and he uses humor as a coping mechanism a lot of the time, and he will do some make some self-deprecating jokes and so on to draw attention away from his freakiness. And I'm sorry, so the question, how has he been dealing with it? It's been that he's not known really how to deal with these things until he has kind of hooked up with his team members. However, his lifelong friend, Tori Davis, has been the person who has helped him control his powers up as much as she possibly could up until this point.
Do you have a secret identity then? And is she the only one that knows, or does she not know that you're a hero? How is that?
She is the only one who knows that Harry Jackson is in fact Big Crunch.
Okay. And like, what has pushed you to keep using your powers?
So Harry believes that he is, after like reading some books on physics and the cosmos, he believes that he is the answer to the apocalyptic Big Crunch when it actually starts to happen. He doesn't know if he's going to have billions of years of lives or of life, but he is preparing himself for that.
That's a big ambition there. Interesting.
Yeah.
So the team has helped you said, kind of focus and maybe get a sense of control, but what else does the team bring to you? Why are they important to you?
So I think that Harry thinks that he is protecting the rest of the team. He thinks that they don't know what they're doing. And so it's incumbent upon him to be there to help them out when they really need help by giving them boosts, protecting them, whatever might be necessary.
Interesting sense of superiority, but in a different way. That's very, very interesting. Because it will be what most of the team, except for Gigaweight will have people who have had powers for most of their lives. So interesting. All right, I think that gives us good stuff. We're going to come back and talk about the relationship questions and the influence. Was there something else?
Did Jose go?
Yeah, I'm about to. Yeah. I'm just saying, when we come back to you, we'll talk about relationship.
Oh, I'm
influence.
sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. No.
I thought we were cutting away. Thanks.
No. Let me ask you one last thing. I just actually realized, what do you look like in costume or out?
Yeah, Harry looks the same. Yeah, well, actually, he wears just he wears jeans and t-shirts when he's not in costume, and his costume is a red jacket and some skater shorts. He's an African-American man, got a wispy beard because he's still very young. He's solidly built, but he's not a muscular person. And he has deep brown eyes.
Mask? Are you wearing a mask or a hood or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a mask, but it's like a minimal mask.
Okay. Just a little domino.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Well, we'll come back to you for relationships. Let us come to Proteus. Jose, tell us about your character.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name's Jose. My pronouns are he and him. I've also been playing on the Gauntlet for about a year, almost exactly a year. So I just had my anniversary. Happy to be here. I'm playing Proteus, and his everyday name is Joaquin Palacios. And the playbook is The Outsider because he's not from around here. He is actually from under the sea, from Atlantis. And so he has somehow convinced his moms that he should come to on land after some forays of his own initially, just because he's so curious. So I think I'm imagining Atlantis is kind of a strict, hierarchical, more collectivist kind of matriarchy. And he's feeling a little constrained by all of that. He's got an arranged marriage down the line, that kind of thing. And so when he first came out of the water, maybe in Ibiza, he saw that this was like a party. it was fun to party on land, and so he took on a Spanish name, and because no one can pronounce his Atlantean name, and joined the team to be a part of this. And he's like a kid in a candy store. And his folks back home definitely want him to come back at some point and take up his duties. And they see this whole dalliance with the landwalkers as kind of a phase he'll grow out of. And let's see. In terms of his powers, let's do his look. His look is, he looks like a Latino man, a human body. His eyes are kind of like seal eyes, I imagine them, like all black and expressive. He has trouble with land walking clothing, so he tries to wear the least he can possibly wear. And he cannot deal with shoes at all, so he's always barefoot. And he can't match clothing either, so it's like he needs to ask people to help him with that whole concept. So he tends to sounds like we're a pretty informal team in terms of the costumes, and so Joaquin is kind of following that lead. In terms of his abilities, he has flight and toughness. And he has this pheromone ability, but I think it's just beginning to show up, and he doesn't really have a lot of control over it. And so it can kind of show up in unconscious ways. Like when he gets really emotional, maybe the people around him start feeling those same emotions, something like that. It's a little out of control. His shape-shifting ability, though, is more familiar to him, especially with shapes that are kind of more familiar from his life under the sea. But he's having a lot of fun experimenting with land shapes now. So that his moves are, he can call on resources from his folks back home, and get cool pieces of alien technology or consult with their knowledge, things like that. That's belong in two worlds. He also has alien ways, which is when he openly disregards or breaks some kind of custom on land. He bumps his superior up. And not so different after all is more about when he's talking about home. Because even though he's gotten away from home, he is still homesick at times, where everything was kind of in order and he knew what he was doing. So sometimes he feels kind of lost. Excited by the lack of structure and the freedom, and also sometimes lost. Let's see. Yeah, and that's kind of
why have you decided to stay here? Is it just that things are like, if you go back home, you're going to have to slot into that?
It's going to be so dull, yes, and it's going to be really bad. So I'm trying to have as much fun as I can. It's like my college years before I have to go back into the world of work. So I'm trying to have as much fun as I possibly can. And I love the team because they don't demand that I be any particular way. They don't even demand that I, wear a uniform or anything, which I love, and I can go barefoot. And so they're very laissez-faire with me, which is not the way my mothers are. My mothers are, pretty tyrannical.
All right. I think that gives us a pretty good sense of who you are. Let's go back and let's do those relationship questions and get that influence set. So we'll go back to the start. And essentially, again, with relationship questions, if you have an idea for who might fit into that question, you can suggest that. Or if you want to put it out there for people to choose, we'll do both of your relationship questions for each person moving along. So let's come back to the Scion. Which one do you want to start with of your two relationship questions?
Let's go in order. Blank is the only one who understands what I'm going through. I told them which part of me I wished was more like my parent. Who could understand what I'm going through? Maybe someone has an idea.
It seems to me like you were in a kind of a strict regimented life. Maybe Proteus. Does that work?
Okay. And also Proteus knows the outer space and and this kind of stuff. And now we are both stuck on this planet, seemingly. Although we used to be able to roam more freely among the stars. So maybe that's it.
I'm from in the ocean. That's where I'm.
Oh, right. Sorry.
But strange different worlds.
But strange different worlds. Yeah, definitely. And my mom's a tyrant, so maybe I sympathize.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was so preoccupied with coming up with stuff for my hero that I didn't listen to all of.
No worries.
Your parent is a tyrant. So that's
perfect. I have three mothers and they're all tyrants.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So that's actually perfect. We should have started with that. Yeah. So definitely.
So the other part of the question is, I told them which part of me I wish was more like my parent. So which part of you do you wish was more like your dad?
My dad is extremely confident, and there's never a shred of doubt in whatever he does. Even if he's making a mistake, he'd never admit it. He'd go head on, and usually he'll just push through whatever obstacles he encounters and comes out victorious on the other side anyway. So that's what I'm jealous, of course. I'm full of self-doubt, especially now. I keep questioning myself, second guessing every choice I make, and that's probably it.
I like it. What is your other relationship question?
My parent once fought and thrashed someone. I've got to find a way to make it up to them.
That'd be me.
Okay. Gigaweight or gigaweight?
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of situation could it be?
So I was thinking that your parent was a arch nemesis or like a villain of my favorite superhero.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I wouldn't, or Joey wouldn't really hesitate to try to fight them, because if his favorite superhero could do it, why couldn't he?
I like it.
But you're outclassed.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Do you think you were present when that happened, Rhinestone? Probably before you joined the team, but do you think did you see that, or did you hear about it later?
I think I was present. It would work better if I was there. Maybe I was a part of the other, I don't know, the other side of the assignment. I wasn't directly involved, but I think I have seen what was going on. And also maybe it was the same hero who eventually stopped me while I was on a mission and brought me over.
Let's give them a name. Let's give them a name. Either one of you have an idea for a name there? Let's.
Giga 8, if they're your personal hero.
They're called. Let's do a similar thing. They're called Megaweight.
Okay.
That was the secondary name for the character I was thinking of. I wasn't sure between the two. Megaweight is a let's say super strength also, but made out of stone.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So would Megaweight be could he be considered the city's greatest hero? Because I have someone like that in my respect section.
Yeah, let's put that. That Megaweight. And you said she is the central key defender of the city for this city that we're going to have here.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. And then your influence team may be proving you're different from other parent, but you don't want to be defined by your peers either. So you have to give influence to 2 of your teammates. So who will that be?
I think the 2 which I have in my relationships, Proteus and Giga 8.
Okay. So Proteus, Giga 8, right, that you have influence on Rhinestone.
Can we get to my respect now, or?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Later? Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have some of those you want to define right
now?
Yeah,
I chose 3 from the list.
Okay.
I chose one we already mentioned. It would be the city's greatest hero. That would be Megaweight.
Okay.
She was the one who stopped my team on a mission once and showed me the amount of damage we were actually doing. I would like to put my father's greatest victim there, and I was thinking maybe it's the widow of a assassinated mayor of Halcyon City.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that was one of my father's assignments, and the widow has been in mourning ever since my father got hired to assassinate her husband. And the third one is my father's greatest enemy, and I would like it to be my mother, who stayed on Earth and was abandoned completely by him and myself by extension.
Is she a superhero? Is that how you got your cosmic powers? Okay.
No, I don't think so. I think she's a regular human being who just had the misfortune of falling in love with Gravestone many years ago, and after it turned out what kind of a person Gravestone is, and after he basically decided unilaterally to take me from home and move into the assassination business, she has been really heartbroken about it.
So not necessarily your father's most dangerous enemy, but certainly the person who hates him the most.
Yes, and myself by extension, and I would like to remedy that. But it's an uphill battle because she very much sees me as my father's clone. Or
interesting. Yeah, we'll play with that. Okay. I like that. Let's come next then to Gigaweight. Oh, actually, let's get those influence. We already got those written in. Great. Okay. Let's come to Gigaweight. Which relationship question do you want to start with? Because you've got just the two classic bowl ones there.
I believe my rival is gonna be Rhinestone, because he can't like fight them the same way like that Megaweight fought Gravestone, but he can at least like, maybe subconsciously he doesn't know he's doing it, but he wants to like show that he's like, to like, for his favorite hero, that he's better than like the progeny of his like one of his nemesis.
That sounds good. Deal. Is that okay with you, Rhinestone?
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
Okay. And then who is your love?
I believe, let's see. Big Crunch mentioned that they tried to like really like help the team a lot or something like that, right? And for sure, Gigaweight doesn't pick up any of like the superiority-ness of it. And he thinks he's just like such a great, like a good team member, as all of us should be. So like he I think because Gigaweight probably might be like, he's the biggest of the group, but I would like him to be like the youngest of the group, as like as a thing. And so maybe like so probably Big Crunch and like a big brother sort of like looks up to Big Crunch kind of deal.
I like that.
Yeah.
Are you good with that, Mark?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Great. And so Rhinestone, Big Crunch, you will both get influence over Gigaweight, which will bring us to Big Crunch. Big Crunch, what is your first relationship question that you want to answer?
It is you hang out all the time with blank to blow off steam. And I had been thinking about Gigaweight. I think that Harry finds Gigaweight interesting because he thinks that nothing can stop him. And he likes to joke around that physics are going to catch up with him one day. And so I think that it's a friendship kind of built on that. I think if your
powers like go haywire, Gigaweight like barely feels it, you know, or he like survives much easier than anyone else can.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what about the other one?
Yeah. So you once hurt when you lost control of your powers. And I was thinking maybe it would be Proteus, if you're okay with that, Jose. I've been thinking a little bit about what the circumstances might have been for that. And nothing's coming immediately to mind. So if anyone at the table has a suggestion for something, that's great. If we need that kind of thing for this relationship, maybe we don't need that for the question.
Do you think it was just like when your powers went haywire, or did you kind of just misuse them, or did maybe Proteus didn't quite realize the extent of what you could do? What do you think?
I think the blame is all on Harry. I think maybe he was trying to push himself to show. Maybe he was trying to push himself to show that he could protect the whole team, and in doing so, he overextended himself.
And Proteus, what would be your reaction when you're injured by like your teammate kind of like overdoing things?
Yeah, for some reason I'm thinking that, you know, somehow I got crushed somehow. Somehow I became so heavy that I got crushed against the ground, and I think there's a lot of kind of, maybe there's even trauma from it. The sense of, because he's used to being really free and being able to, you know, swim in the ocean and just be free all the time. And there was a kind of a claustrophobic kind of reaction to it. So he's a little scared the Big Crunch now, and what might happen, and if that might happen again.
I like that. Big Crunch, are your demeanor, are you a happy facade or locked down?
Happy.
Okay. So you try to play it off. You try to be the positive, happy, go lucky one. So
right.
all of your teammates may write down that you have influence over Big Crunch. And then we come to Proteus.
Okay. What am I doing here?
Which relationship question first?
You've been learning about Earth by spending time with let's see. Actually, maybe I'll do the crush one first.
Okay.
You have a crush on, but you keep it under wraps. Let's see. Trying to think who it would be. Giga, wait, you have an ask first on romance? Well, not that this is actually a romance. This is actually just a crush.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if you'd be open to that one.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
He's thick as a brick, but yes, that's fine.
He's thick as a brick and he doesn't realize.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's what I want. Someone who does not realize.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Okay. And so let me just write that in, Gigaweight. And then my other one is I've been learning about Earth by spending time. I'm going to say it's with Rhinestone, if that's okay, Adam. Yeah, because I just think she's really worldly and knows a lot.
Yes, she's traveled all across the globe.
She's traveled. She's well traveled. Yes, she's cosmopolitan. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping to learn from her. Okay.
Awesome. Then are you haughty or are you thrilled to be here?
Oh, I'm definitely thrilled to be here.
Okay. So everyone may write down that you have influence over Proteus. All right. So we're going to take our first break here. We're going to take 10 minutes. We'll come back at about 30 after. And then we're going to start looking at some setup questions, talk a little bit about the city, and get rolling into our first scene. So take 10 and we'll be back.
Right.
You're muted, Lowell.
I was brilliant there for just a moment while I was muted. So we have a halcyon city that is west coast of the United States. It's in California. Coast, has beaches, that kind of thing. It's in classic DC universe fashion, it's a fictional city there. What is I can't remember what the fictional, but anyway. So you all have been superheroing, brought together by some influence of maybe Omega Weight and some others, and come together as this team, and you have been superheroing for a little while, and you have some issues. One thing, there is a person in your group who maybe has a little bit of collateral damage that they do, right? A Big Crunch, we've seen that. It's established in your connection there with Proteus. And Rhinestone, how well known is it that the connection between you and your father, or you and this shadowy organization, is it just known to some super people, or is it generally known? What do you think that is?
I don't think it's generally known because my father isn't generally known.
Okay.
I think my father and his organization, they are known to the superhero community or the law enforcement community. I believe Aegis has a big file on him.
Yeah. So there's definitely some Aegis suspicion of you, and maybe some questioning of Megaweight, her decision to kind of back you in this. But you have been doing this, and recently there was an incident where things went terribly wrong. And we're going to figure out exactly how that went wrong. So tell me, Rhinestone, where was the team fighting the villain known as Vortex? I'll put up the little card here.
Okay. It was in an ice rink, a huge arena in the center of Halcyon City, where no matter what the season of the year, there's always ice ready for people to enjoy skating.
So probably an attached, like there's a complex by it, public parks managed thing, lots of people, kind of some touristy things. I mean, it's an important site there.
Mm-hmm.
Gigaweight Vortex was holding some people hostage. There was some sort of demands he was making. You all arrived, commotion broke out, fight. There might have been some other supers that were present. What legitimate, before everything went really wrong, what legitimate mistake did you make early in the fight? Like what did you kind of screw up early on?
Early on in the fight. I think there was some sort of, maybe you mentioned there was some heroes there. Maybe there was a sort of fire-based hero who like either has like his ability is like tied to like gadgetry or some sort, like it can like it's like not attached to the person. Mm-hmm. But
can I jump in with the name of the hero?
Yeah, sure.
Their name was Heatwave.
Heatwave.
Okay.
Heatwave was there. He got knocked out really like quickly. And Gigaweight thought that he could use the gadget because if he melted all the ice, it would be a lot easier to fight on it. But he didn't understand how much ice is on an ice rink. So it made it just much more slippery. It was like the ground was just like freshly polished. So it made the environment even worse for the team and anyone trying to escape.
And fighting Vortex, this is the first time you faced him. He's an old classic villain, but it's the first time that you've taken him on. Mm-hmm. And there was a point at which he was surrounded by a couple of other more established heroes. There was still some innocence around there. Mm-hmm. And Big Crunch, you used your powers on him and things went wrong. And there was an explosion and cratering, Vortex not left at the end. Who or what else was damaged, destroyed, missing at the end of that? Like what was the other big fallout?
So to clarify, Vortex was missing at the end of this?
At the end, there's a crater, and he's gone. Probably some of the people by him, but who else was hurt or vanished or what was damaged, destroyed beyond just this sort of sight?
Yeah, so I think that Big Crunch saw these two superheroes who had a vortex cornered, and Crunch said, "Time to bring you back down to earth." And then he tried to massively increase Vortex's mass so that they would come crashing down. Unfortunately, it didn't affect Vortex. It affected the two superheroes that had him cornered. They came crashing down, and he wouldn't normally be able to do that to these two superheroes, but it was this loss of power and created that great crater, and they were both missing after that.
Yeah, your powers that interacted with vortexes, and just this woof, and a great sphere just carved out of the earth and just gone. Tell me, immediately afterwards, there was some public reaction because you kind of panicked a little bit, the group, and took off. Certainly, Aegis has put out an alert on you, as have others. Why is the public reaction so strong in favor of like having you arrested and sent away to the Eschaton holding facility of Proteus? Like, what? Why is it like someone at the top who's calling for your blood, or is it a particular hero, or what? Or is it somebody that went missing? Like, what is it that is bringing the hounds on you?
There's someone that's influencing public opinion and pushing the narrative that we were moles that betrayed the heroes at the pivotal moment. And so there's a shadowy figure. We don't know exactly who it is, but it seems to have a lot of connection in media outlets and with official authorities, and is pushing this narrative that we are traitors.
Certainly, there are people at the top in the mayoral office and the public office that teen heroes can't be allowed to run around loose like this, and talking about certain new curfew regulations and that kind of thing. And unfortunately, Megaweight is apparently at this moment, it's not clear where she is. She hasn't come forward to speak about this. It's not clear why. Normally she would come and maybe say something about this, but she hasn't made any kind of public statement. And in fact, for some people, that's the biggest thing, is that has happened. One of the up and coming, like, wants to be the city's great hero, a guy known as Yes Man, got a nice suit on, got glowing fists, like powered tank. He has declared that he is going to bring in this team of teen heroes. And so we take up like on that happened in the morning, and the four of you kind of have been panicking through the day. Let me ask you, Rhinestone, like where does the camera or the first panel open up? Like where is the team when we come to see the four of you, probably a little bit in disguise, on the streets?
First of all, what was the name of the new hero? Because my connection was
his name is Yes Man.
Okay. All right. Where are we now?
Yeah.
Let's see. We are in an underground station. I
Okay.
think.
Yeah.
We have a good knowledge of the underground city's underground system, so we know which station wouldn't be much populated at this time of day, and this is where we head because it's the closest logical hiding place.
Absolutely. You maybe have kind of used your metro passes and have been moving from station to station. We take up with you at one of these less populated stations there. Gigaweight, when we come in, what is your like reaction? What do we see you like? How are you acting?
This like muscular monster of a teenager is on like a like one of those benches near the subways.
Mm-hmm.
But he's sitting in that way where like he brings his like knees up to his chest, and he's kind of just like sadly eating like a protein bar that he brought with him in his pockets. It's kind of smushed now because of the fight, but like it's like crumbling away, but he's just like munching on it, just like sad.
And let me ask this. Big Crunch, in some ways, if we had to point to a leader of the team at this point, maybe it's you, maybe it's Rhinestone. What do you think?
I think that Crunch he deflects that kind of like actual implied responsibility. And I think that to his mind, it makes sense that Rhinestone is the leader, being the scion of a super, and having a lot of background in that whole world, the most exposure, I think, of any of us.
And let me ask you, Rhinestone, does Rhinestone want to be the leader? Would Rhinestone take up that mantle, or would you also defer?
Definitely not, because she's so insecure at the moment, and here she is again making trouble and causing damage when she was supposed to take care of a problem. So she's all these things flash back to her, and she's really not in the right state of mind to lead anyone at the moment.
So I think there is still that kind of standoff about who's actually in charge a little bit there. Proteus, Joaquin, like, how do you feel about leadership? I mean, like, do you think one of them ought to be the leader? Do you think you ought to be in charge? What do you think?
No, I'm pretty sure I don't want to be in charge. That's another thing about my mothers, man. They really want me to take on the mantle of like, nobility and all of that stuff. And it's like, fuck that shit. I don't want to be in charge of anybody. That's too much.
I know all about it.
Too much responsibility. And so definitely pushing it off on the other two, if I possibly can. Okay.
And so there's that kind of confusion, uncertainty. You've been moving around, like, and maybe it's the first time you've had a chance to kind of stop and catch your breath, maybe in a place where you're a little bit outside of camera range of, from the city surveillance. But you've got like, there's a set of steps that go up quickly outside, so you can get out of here quickly if you need to, but you're a bit isolated. And you're probably trying to make your way back to some kind of safe house or base, but you're not sure if that's watched or covered. So let's come in. It's quiet for a bit while you're all sitting there in your own worlds. What do you say, Rhinestone? It happens that you're the first person to talk. What do you say to the group?
Look, maybe we should just talk to someone, explain what happened. I'm sure they'll let us explain. Maybe ask to talk to someone from Aegis. Megaweight knows us. They know we couldn't possibly be doing all this on purpose. And by the way, Crunch, I really need you to keep your shit together from now on, because we can't keep doing this.
Crunch?
It's just sometimes I just forget, how powerful I am. It's a little embarrassing,
I don't forget.
I think Gigaweight finally perks up after he finishes his protein bar, and he's just like, guys, I messed up. That's on me. That's my bad. I know all of you just look up to me as the leader of the team, and I really let you all down. Try to really lead the charge, do something smart and clever like you all do, but I messed up real bad. Big boo-boo. That's on me.
Giga, no way. Oh, man. And Crunch comes over and he slaps your big stony kind of shoulder.
Thanks,
Just like,
man.
No, Giga, no, it's not on you.
Your fault, man.
It was just so much ice. I thought there would be less ice.
That was really slippery.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate location, to be sure. Very, very bad from the tactical point of view.
And I think as the four of you are kind of sitting there, you will start to hear sirens outside. And at first you're like a little bit panicked, but you hear them clearly come by, head a little bit down, and then stop. And it sounds like something is happening up on the street level big right now. What do you do? What do you do, Rhinestone?
There's something going on up there. I'm sure they wouldn't send them after us, would they? Because that would be ridiculous. We are heroes, and they know that, right? Right, guys? Right?
I don't know. Weird stuff on the news. I mean, it's weird.
I'm sure no one will think that this was all a ploy by my father to send me in disguise, and because that would be ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
I would think that.
Guys, he just holds up his phone. It's like, looks like it's not so ridiculous after all. My reception's not so good here, but this page just downloaded. It looks like they're blaming us for everything. They say we're traitors. Yeah, that's the word, traitors.
Do they mention my father?
Oh yeah.
Oh, great.
Reports have emerged from the superhero community that Rhinestone, a low-level super, may in fact be associated with some more nefarious criminal conspiracy. And we have reports from an unnamed insider suggesting that, in fact, that this was all set up to eliminate some of Halcyon City's best and finest superheroes.
I don't know which I take more offense to, the fact that I'm implicated or the low-level part. I mean, logically speaking, I can see how they would think that, because that would be a brilliant plan, actually, if it was executed correctly. But that's not what happened at all. At all. Can't we just talk to someone? Why do these reporters always have to jump to conclusions?
Or sirens.
You think they're going to come down here and get us?
Yeah,
Did we
it's
move?
just a big misunderstanding. I'm sure if we just talk to them, explain what happened, it's all going to be all right.
Well,
I don't think so, because what Proteus is saying is that they're blaming us, and I guess there's some question about where's Megaweight? Shouldn't Megaweight be, come out and defend us or say something about this?
Wait, did Megaweight come out of this crater, this thing that?
No, they weren't at the scene, but you would have expected them to show up and say something afterwards.
Did Heatwave come out of them there?
Heatwave made it out alive. Yes.
Okay.
Good. At the very least, Heatwave made it.
Yeah, but there were at least two other heroes, the ones that were by Vortex when this all went down, and probably some other people that also in this flash are no longer of this world, as some might say.
And say, so Giga, can you text Megaweight?
Yeah, of course. We're best friends.
Cool.
I pull out my phone. Do I have Megaweight's number?
I think you have a number for
sure.
Megaweight's probably PR person.
Yeah.
Hotline.
Yeah, I call.
Okay. So you'll call. You'll get that. Hi, you've reached the offices of Steerly and Steerly. Please leave your name and number and the purpose of your call, and we will try to deal with it in a timely fashion. If you're calling for Megaweight, press 1.
All right.
And
it breaks because he's so strong.
Okay.
He uses his left hand. He forgets. Like, oh gosh. I think they got that they saw my number and it's like caller ID. So, yeah.
Did you get sent a voicemail? Oh my gosh.
No. It happens every time. They tell me that I have to like leave my number first, and it's just like it's kind of just like a thing they do apparently.
Can anybody is there anything on your phone, Proteus, about whatever's happening down the street? Because I don't want to have to go out and look, but I'm really curious about what's happening there.
No, it's not a police radio or anything, so I don't know what's going on out there. I'm just looking at the headlines on the papers, and they're all bad.
I think the thing that will pop up on the headlines is massive fire engulfing apartment building in downtown Halcyon City. Due to recent disruptions due to superhero activities, emergency services are unable to act where we have people dispatched to the scene, but it seems like this whole building may go up. We're trying to see if they can get some kind of helicopter to lift the people that are trapped on the roof off at this moment.
I convey that. We can prove ourselves. Let's go save some people on this fire.
I mean, we at least have to save the people, right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, for sure. All right, team.
So wait, though, disguises.
He puts on his mask. I remember this time. Don't worry. He points to his mask. BC, I got you.
So you've got a mask. Are you doing anything, Big Crunch, else to change your appearance, to disguise your identity here?
Guys, we have to look normal. We have to be undercover. We can't look like superheroes, because then they'll snag us for sure.
None
of us have costumes anyways.
Yeah, is there like a Halcyon City Gap nearby, or
there is undoubtedly a Halcyon City gift shop down here in the thing. What's the name of the Halcyon City football team?
The Comets.
Okay, the Halcyon City Comets. You can they haven't won for a few years, so you can get the sweatshirts on discount.
Yeah.
Go and pick yourself up a couple of sweatshirts.
Mhm.
Anyone else doing anything special for your disguises?
Yeah, I didn't mention it before. My costume is my father's organization's tactical gear, because much as I hate the association, it is a really
Good stuff.
comfortable and well designed tactical gear. So, but I think Captain Marvel style, I changed the colors because
Okay.
they want to be associated. So while it was like black and silvery before, now it's gold and blue, I guess.
All right.
So it's not as threatening. So I think I'll quickly buy a hoodie and throw it over,
Okay.
because I have to disguise my blue hair. That's the first priority here.
Blue hair. Wow.
And Proteus, you're the one with perhaps the most clothing averse. So are you doing anything to disguise yourself?
Yeah, I think I have one of those comet. It's like what do you call it? Wait, like cut off at the midriff?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cut off.
So quite light, and a couple of swim trunks, which is what I'm always wearing anyways, and barefoot, of course, and some sunglasses to hide my eyes,
and a little bit of shape changing to kind of
yeah, to look a little different, yeah.
So you'll assume the disguise, come up out onto the street level. You can see crowds are gathered down the street. They've got barricades set up. There are Halcyon City police. They're trying to keep people back. You will see that there is a 6-story apartment building that they're getting some people out on the ground floor, but it's still clear that there's some people trapped up on the upper floors. The fire is burning, and there's some people up on the roof. They're starting to get the fire engines there, but they're having issues because some of these people were dispatched elsewhere. So they don't have the big like ladder trucks that they'd like. They've just got the small scale, basic rescue fire trucks on scene, and people are in real danger there. There might be some people inside. There are definitely people on the roof. What do you do, Rhinestone?
I think we have some maneuvers practiced to get to higher altitude, because maybe something with Big Crunch with his gravity powers, or maybe Proteus can lift someone up, because I seem to be the least equipped to get to a higher place really quickly. So I expect one of those practiced maneuvers to occur.
Okay, so we'll kind of delay and see what one of them do. Well, this is entering sort of a hostile situation because this is a dangerous foe, this fire. So we add 2 to the team pool. So we have 2. I asked earlier, and it seems like we don't have a leader. So the leader doesn't have influence over every teammate. Everyone seems to have the same purpose in the fight, though. So we would add another team. There's no leader, so there's no one to mistrust. And I don't think that anybody mistrusts the team yet. But I do think you're a little ill-prepared going in here. So that'll take us to 2 team in the team pool right now. So let's come to Gigaweight. You see Rhinestone kind of looking kind of like, wait to see what happens. Gigaweight, you're the team leader in your mind.
Yeah, of course. And in reality, clearly.
Right.
He steps up in front of everyone, very Captain America-like fashion. And instead of how in Avengers, he kind of like where Captain America like breaks down, like, you go here, you go there. Gigawait's like, all right, everyone, just do the normal thing, and just like points to the building. And he kind of like looks at Rhinestone, who clearly looks like they want to get up there, but is not sure how. So in a kind of like, yeah, let me help. Let me show how much I can like help my rival by showing them how strong I am. He just goes, "Hey, need a lift up there?"
You're muted.
Yeah. What do you have in mind? You're not going to throw me, are you? And my voice trails off because I'm being picked up right now.
Like you see him just like as you're speaking, like is in the process of ripping off the sleeves of his sweatshirt. And I was like, I could carry you, I guess. It's that preferred. The throwing is faster. And like you can see the left arm, like from the shoulder, like seems like muscle strands like come out of the top of the shoulder and like attach down his arm. So he's like powering it up. And he like no. Yeah. Okay, I won't miss this time, is the thing. I promise you this time you won't have to like I'll get you into a window this time. I promise. 100% into a window.
I love it. I love it that you're doing it without waiting for my reaction of any kind.
Yeah. I picture your arms are crossed as I like lift you by like the shirt. And yeah, just like full, just like top, like one arm toss.
Okay. So, while I'm going up, I shoot Big Crunch this look of reproach, like, dude, you can manipulate gravity.
So I would like Gigaweight to unleash your powers. You're trying to overcome an obstacle here, trying to get Rhinestone up to the top or close to the top.
Yeah,
we'll see how well you do that.
All right. Due to physics, what physics? Oh, wait, does this count as an obstacle? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Sweet. Then I will use my danger instead of my freak.
Okay.
That's a +2. That's a 5.
That is a 5. So
to hear this.
I would like you to mark a condition. And when you do that, I think you kind of pull back, and as you're about to throw, you hear somebody go, "Oh my God, it's Gigaweight and those villains!" And I
wave,
and you don't go up to the top, Rhinestone. You end up like about it's 6 floors. You end up about the 4th floor, like. And you can see yourself coming in, and you've got enough martial skill, like you roll, tuck and roll, and through the windows onto that floor. We'll come back to you in just a second. Okay. You've been given a reproachful look. There, Big Crunch. What do you want to do? And it seems like some people in the crowd have spotted you all, and the reaction of the crowd was not entirely positive.
So. I think that the first thing he does is adjust his sunglasses on his face, and he says, "That's not Gigaweight," to the crowd, because that's going to be helpful. That's not him. And
the guy who's waving.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think I want to. So when we talk about the powers and we talk about gravitational abilities, is it manifested only mechanically in terms of the of like the moves that are available, or is gravity manipulation, does that allow me to do things that are outside of those things?
It provides you the fiction to activate the moves, and we make a certain more allowances and assumptions based on what the gravity can do. So gravity control, I assume you can fly.
Okay.
You can lift things. I mean, we know the basic stuff that can happen with it, but it's when you want to actually like change the scene,
yes,
or change the environment. That's when we like, okay, let's go to a roll with those.
Okay. So by the way, did we end up with a dice rolling room?
Oh, yes, it is. This copy. The link is also on the Basic Moves tab as well, but there it is.
Okay, cool. So I think that Big Crunch would like to get onto the rooftop.
Okay.
So if he can just fly up there, then that's fine. But if he needs to, okay.
It's no problem for you to move up there. Is there something you want to do? Are you like flying up there to start immediately rescuing people? Are you trying to put the fire out? Are you assessing the situation? Like, what do you want to do? Okay. Yep. Then as you're flying up, you're trying to kind of circle and get a view on what's going on. Let's have you roll with your superior.
Okay, cool. All right. So superior is 0.
Okay.
And it's I'm sorry, it's always 2d6, right?
Yep.
+0. An 8.
An 8. So you get
That's a 7 and 9.
One question to ask off of assess the situation, and you'll get a +1 to act on that answer.
Okay. So am I able to, do I get a description of what I see on the rooftop?
Yeah. So what you see, it's a 6 floors. There are probably a dozen people up here on the top of the roof that have rushed up here. The apartment building itself doesn't look like it's it's not in great shape. You're definitely hearing that there's some people down on the lower floors. But there's mostly right now, the people on the roof are dealing with the smoke and just the heat. The flames haven't reached up to there yet. So what do you want to know?
Let's see. I think I want to know if there's a place that I can move these folks to if I start to move them. That's safety other than the ground.
Okay. So essentially, like what is the place nearby that like is sort of is vulnerable to me, is the place that I can get them to. Yes. And there is a building. We've got about a 30-foot gap between it and the next one. And it actually has like a fairly clear rooftop. It looks like, it's stable. It doesn't look like the wind is going to carry the flames that way. If you can get them across that gap or do something to bridge that gap, then that's the place to get them to right now.
Okay.
Sound good?
It does. Thank you.
Okay. Proteus.
All right. So Proteus in his little comet crop top, takes to the air and is going up for the towards. He's thinking that Rhinestone is okay inside the building somewhere, and he's going up to where the people at the top are. I think what he wants to do is when he arrives there is. And
I'm going to pause here because this question is going to come up in just a moment. You all have communications with one another.
Okay.
Go on.
Little earpieces.
Yes.
Yeah. So I assume that that Harry has already let me know about the other building, and so. But when I get up there, what I'm trying to do is calm all the people there. Actually, calm them, but also get them to trust us enough so that I can start shuttling them across to the other building. So I think this is my untried pheromone powers.
Okay. Do you want to do this as unleash your powers, or do you want to do this as provoke someone?
I'd be better off with, I think, provoke, right? Is that a superior roll?
That is with roll with superior.
Oh, I'll take that then.
Okay. So kind of step and let's have you roll with superior.
Okay. Oops. That's an 11 then.
That's an 11. So I think they can't. I mean, even if they've heard about you being a villain or anything like that, you can't. That like there is a figure that has descended from the heavens, this beautiful man. The like the sweat glinting off you as the heat hits you, and you kind of descend down angelically. And they oh, thank God, they're moving to where you want them to group up. And they're listening to you, and their panic level declines. Fourth floor, fire raging around, and Rhinestone, you will hear in the distance, through the crackling of the flames and the smoke and stuff, you'll hear someone, help me, help me. So what do you do?
It's on the floor that I'm on.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Can I locate the door from behind which it comes?
Yeah,
or
you move through the hallway, kind of, dodging out of the way, and you'll get to a door. And when you hit it, it's clear they've got some kind of reinforced security door, like it's a heavier metal door. And it is like the reason they can't get out because it's the fire has swollen things, and it's absolutely locked in place.
Okay, so without thinking, I yell, step away from the door now. And I cosmic energy blast the door
All right,
out of the way.
Let's have you unleash your powers to get this obstacle clear.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, I hope they listen to reason. It's freak, right?
Yes.
It will be freak. Okay. So I have 0. Oh, they didn't step away from the door.
So what did you roll?
A 5. It's a 5.
Okay. So you will. What does your cosmic energy look like? Like, what do we see happen?
Well, some blinding light coming out of my fingertips. Some pretty standard comic book stuff.
Okay. And you will kick that down, and you will see this figure, like a couple of figures. Yes.
How about the door melts?
Yeah.
Be kicked out.
Melts down, and I think you will see, sort of standing in the hall, you will see 3 of your father's minions.
Oh.
And you see he's fallen for it. She's fallen for it. And like they are clearly moving up to try and capture you under the cover of this fire. You've separated from your group. That's kind of what they were hoping, because they knew about your power level. And now they're going to try and take advantage of this. They probably started this fire.
Cool. Do I know them personally?
You tell me.
Probably 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah. The leader, Anton, says, just stand down. Just stand down.
Okay.
We'll come back to you in just a second. Also, it doesn't matter because we're doing a milestone thing, but I would always say to you on those misses, I would say the good news is you get to mark potential. That would be what I would always say to you, but we don't have to worry about that right now. Let's swing back up to Gigaweight. You've flung your companion
successfully.
Successfully is a relative term, so yes.
Yep. Gigaweight will attempt to reach the same floor that Rhinestone is on, because he wants to explain why he didn't get to the 6th floor. He was like, "Oh, the 4th floor was safer." He wants to explain that to her when he gets up there.
So, what do you think that is? Is that you climbing up the wall? Is it you super jumping? Is it you climbing up one of the ladders and jumping off from it? Like, what do we see?
You see his left arm just get covered in like extra musculature. It's still kind of like in the shape of an arm for the most part. And then like he just like slams it into the ground and launches himself.
Okay. This is This is definitely unleash your powers. I feel like
Alright.
you need to do that to get to where you want to go.
Okay, so that's danger again, which in theory is my best stat. I don't believe insecure affects this one.
I don't think so.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. That is gonna be a 9.
That is a 9. So on a 7 to 9, you can mark a condition.
Yeah.
Or you're going to be kind of in a perilous situation when you land.
Can I believe that the minions are actually civilians and I will attempt to rescue them? Does that count as dangerous enough?
Yeah, I think, well, they're sort of dressed like Rhinestone, so that might be, but
yeah, the Rhinestones like friends, clearly.
Yeah, so I think you do come smashing through to the ground.
Yeah.
Land there, and you see that Rhinestone has found some civilians.
Perfect.
To help out. It's clearly people at Rhinestone knows this is what a lucky coincidence for you.
Great. Yeah.
Okay. Would you please then take a powerful blow?
Perfect. Thank you, sir. It's you
roll
want to
plus,
roll low.
Yeah, I want to roll low, and you have one condition mark, so you have +1.
Nice. That's an 8.
That is an 8. So on 7 to 9, choose one of those options from Take a Powerful Blow.
7 to 9. Oh God, I think he just like gets shut up, and I will mark 2 conditions.
Okay, so you're standing there, Rhinestone, and there's that gasp as you intake a breath, and then the wall comes shattering through, and you will see Gigaweight kind of land in front of them, looks up, and they unleash with their weapons. What are they using? Rhinestone? Are they just martial, or are they using like stun batons or something? What did we see?
Yeah, they wouldn't bring guns. Well, they probably have guns with them, but they're not using them because they've been told to bring me alive and unscathed. So it's probably some martial melee weapons, some kind of how do you say? Oh Lord.
Like baton,
I'm dunking.
Like batons or something.
Yeah, staffs. Some two-handed staffs.
Yeah, these 3 are up on you and and crash you to the ground. Gigaweight.
Yeah, I think I'm so angry that Rhinestone's friends would beat me up. I don't understand why, but I'm also afraid because like I can see some parts of me come out. It was like really hard hits.
Yeah,
and that's never. I never like seeing that.
Yeah,
I just like look up at Rhinestone, just like, what is happening here? I'm so confused.
And the building's on fire.
Yeah, I guess also that. Yeah, I think he's on fire. He just doesn't know.
Right. Big Crunch. What are you doing?
So I think that Crunch wants to start moving. Well, so over the comms, has anybody indicated yet that there is a situation that you're involved with down there, Rhinestone?
Now, what are you communicating to the rest of the group?
Uh-oh.
You know what? I'm communicating. Take care of the people on the roof. We'll manage here.
Nice.
Awesome. So I think that Crunch wants to start to move these folks to that other location.
Okay.
I see some different things that I might be able to do here. I guess if we look at the basic moves, then it's probably going to be unleash your powers to
or defend.
Oh, there's defend. Okay, yeah. Let's see, but I don't want to defend. Given the options,
yeah, absolutely, you can choose how you want to frame it up.
Another option for the Nova would be to burn, so I charge up powers, and then I get the flares to spend. One of the options I chose is shielding.
Yeah, let's have you roll and see how well your flare goes off.
Okay. So it's going to be just 2d6, no modifier. a 7. So that's a hit, and I mark a condition.
Yeah.
I'll
What
mark.
do you want to mark?
I think that right now, Crunch is angry because he's aware that something's going on downstairs, that Rhinestone is involved in, because Rhinestone is trying to push him off to keep focusing on the other thing, and he can't do both at once.
Right.
And go ahead.
No, go on.
I think that I'm going to then try to shield these folks. So it says that I spend a burn to defend someone else from an immediate threat. How long is this an immediate threat? Can I keep them safe from the flames for the remainder of this situation?
See, the question is defend them from an immediate threat. I think right now they're not in immediate danger, particularly because Proteus got them calmed down. The question more is about moving them over to that other space right now.
Okay. So I don't really have any flares that match that action. Do I get to hold those?
Absolutely. You hang on to those for as much as you want. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess my action then was to do the burn. Then I'll try to unleash my power.
What does that look like when you charge up?
So I think it's the going with the purple vibe. It's this drawing from the atmosphere. This purple hue just starts to manifest in the atmosphere around Crunch, and it imbues him with this slight kind of purple glow.
And Proteus, you see Big Crunch start to power up. Maybe not exactly what you wanted to see here up on this rooftop, but you've got these people together. What do you want to do?
So I think I'll say over the comms, or just to Harry right there, saying, if you can lighten the people, and then I say, and everyone come in for a big hug. So the idea is that they're all going to hold a hug onto me, and then I'm going to, since they're lighter, I'm going to try to take some of them across the way, the 30 feet to the other building.
Yeah.
Maybe what could go wrong?
So I think we get the fictional positioning for that to happen. I think it'll be just one roll on your side, with the idea that Big Crunch can spend from the team pool to assist you if necessary.
Okay.
Do you want to do this as unleash your powers, Proteus, or defend? What do you feel like it falls? Where does it go?
I think it might be an unleash my powers. I think I'm still drawing on the pheromones again.
Yeah, that makes sense.
to try to get them to do something insane, which is hold on to me while we fly across to another building.
So go ahead and roll with Freak.
Jose, if I can boost you, I'd like to. I can spend a burn to give you a +1.
Okay.
Boost.
You do that before the roll? Okay.
You can do that after the roll too.
Oh, nice.
So
maybe hold on to it in case you don't.
I will.
So that's a potential +2 between team pool and that. We'll see what happens.
Okay. And so I'm rolling unleash your powers, which is Freak, right? Okay.
Yep.
All right. It's a 7.
That is a 7. So won't need that because it won't quite get to that
10.
level. Do you want to mark a condition, Proteus, to get them all across? Or are you willing to have this be a little problematic?
Make it problematic, yes.
Okay. I think that as you are like getting them, I think that there is someone who falls and like falls 30 feet and is now hanging off of this fire escape that is like doing that thing where starting to come off away from the building, but you've got the others over there, and this other person is in danger.
Got it.
Oh, holy moly, Rhinestone! You see Gigaweight's laid out. This TAC team is moving up to your position. The building's on fire. What do you want to do?
So they're not attacking Gigaweight at the moment.
They've done what they need to. They
Okay.
think he's down such that they can move in on you.
Okay, so I try to talk to them first. I say, guys, you don't have to do this. You can just tell your father, tell my father that you didn't find me here. Okay, I was just nowhere in the area. He'll be mad for a moment. He'll yell at you, but then he'll just move on. So really, we don't have to do this.
Do you think that they are susceptible to your words?
I don't know.
You choose this, like you know about them.
Uh-huh.
Do you think this is a legit move, or are they here having set this up and they are determined to bring you in?
I think they'd be determined. I think.
Okay.
I don't think I ever had this much respect among the teammates.
Yeah, I think you give them a chance so that that they move, so that there are one to either side of you and one in front of you. They've moved themselves into position, so you realize that you can't talk them down. What do you want to do?
So while I'm still talking, I just move in and try to take someone. The leader, take Anton down first.
Yeah.
I target him first.
So I'm considering them as one target with essentially three hits they can take. One for each of these. Let's have you directly engage a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Roll plus danger.
My danger is 1. And I hope my martial skills are impressive enough. It's 8.
That's an 8. So on a 7 to 9, you get to pick one of those things. You're going to strike and drop one of them. Ooh, it goes flying back. What do you want to pick as your 7 to 9 result?
I would like to create an opportunity for Gigaweight to maybe attack from behind while they are focused on myself.
Perfect. But one of them will get that baton up and cracks you across the back. Mark a condition. What would you mark?
How these things feel. Let me check what does what.
Yeah.
Angry, I think.
Yeah, that seems right.
Always good.
Yeah. Drop one of them. The other two, there's that hit across the back. We probably flash back to training days of being struck by these, but you kind of catch yourself.
I used to be really intimate with these things.
Yeah. Gigaweight, you kind of shake yourself a little bit, and you can see that these two are ignoring you. Their attention is fully on Rhinestone.
Mm-hmm. I have conditions to clear, but this is a bad situation. I think Adam, would you be cool if Gigaway kind of left you right now? Out of curiosity.
Sure.
Yeah.
Of
so Gigaway didn't, like, he was still coming too. So he didn't see that Rhinestone got hit at the end. He just saw Rhinestone like being awesome. And he's like, guess Rhinestone's got this. And can I run away from something difficult?
Absolutely. I think that you can do that. So how what do we see on screen? Like what's the panel look like when you look up and see this?
He kind of just like, we see it from the Gigawave's perspective. One panel is just Rhinestone being like awesome, and then like it gets like blurry, but then that's when Rhinestone gets hit. But then it comes back to the person being dropped to the ground, and Gigaway kind of just like puts his fist into the ground, gets up, and like looks at Rhinestone dejectedly. Like the panel is just like on his eyes, and it's clearly like kind of like sad and dejected. And he's just like, Rhinestone, I guess you got this. I'll see if I can find any more civilians. And then Rhinestone's just like really confused. It's like, no, dude, I need your help. And he kind of just like starts like, I think he kind of just like smashes through the roof part of this floor and goes to the next one to like look for more civilians.
That feels like you're moving, you're running away, and maybe you're trying to assess the situation to see where there are kind of what you can do. Does that feel right?
If I destabilize the building, will that also make Claire angry?
Yes, you could.
Would that be cool with everyone? I just want to make sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So like in the process of him trying to find people, he's just like breaking through walls.
Yeah,
it's not
smashing, not paying attention to structural things.
Yeah.
Just the we can and outside, I think we can see there's this sound of the building kind of shaking, and maybe we start to see the shifts of this top couple floors.
Mhm.
But let's have you roll assess the situation.
Yeah, of course. Assessing the situation. That is my superior. Oh, I have decent superior.
Good.
All right. But that doesn't help me at all. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's a 6.
That is a 6. I think there is this moment when you hit this wall,
Mm-hmm.
and there is this blur, and suddenly you're in the air.
Oh God! Oh shoot!
And you will see this figure above you, following down. You see his glowing fist as Yes Man is riding you down to the ground, so that he can clean your clock when you land.
Oh God!
Goes, I have you now.
Yeah, do I also get take a condition, or is that like the worst thing that can happen?
No, I think having him here is probably the worst thing that could happen right now. So you are plummeting to the ground with Yes Man above you. We'll come back to you in just 1 second. Big Crunch, you're charged up. You see you've got, with Proteus's help, most of these people over, but you see this guy go, and then you see this bright blue electrical comet go past as Yes Man in his nice suit goes flying down. And you hear him soliloquy.
And the building is shaking.
Oh yeah, it feels like this building is not long for the world.
So quick question. Snatch. It says seize it from someone within view. Could I seize someone just from that's hanging off this fire escape?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Perfect. So I am going to spend a burn to grab the person from the fire escape. I'll float over towards snatch them.
Okay.
And take them the rest of the way over to the other building to get them safe to safety.
Catch them, move over, and I think that's when you will see Yes Man and Gigaweight plummeting to the ground. You don't see Rhinestone anywhere.
Okay.
Does that seem fair
to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
So we'll put you on the other roof. You've got Snatch. You got this line of sight. Proteus, what do you want to do?
Proteus is having a little bit of trouble disentangling himself from these people who are
a lot of good
overwhelmed
hugs. Big hugs.
by the pheromones.
Thank you so much.
So he's trying to peel, and they're like ripping the mesh crop top off of him.
It's gone. It's gone.
So, but he manages to disentangle himself from there, and I think he is. He sees the whole Yes Man thing happened, and then plummeting to the earth, but he's still worried about Rhinestone. And so I think he's going to try to fly into the window that he saw Rhinestone get tossed into earlier.
Okay. I think that's not even a power check. I think you can fly down in there, and you'll see Rhinestone in this hallway by herself in the blazing heat of this, fighting off two people in clothing remarkably like her own. What do you do?
I think it's going to be Yeah, it's a good. I'm going to unleash a power. I think.
Okay.
The shape shifting.
Okay.
I think it's his go-to is giant octopus. That's just what he's most comfortable doing. So he's going to try that.
So what is it? What is your intent here? Like, what is it you want to have happen?
It's an attack, actually.
Okay, so that's directly
maybe
engage
it's
a
not.
threat.
Maybe directly engage a threat.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and directly engage a threat, which is the
Danger.
those two guys.
Yeah.
Now, which stat does that roll with?
You roll with danger.
With danger. Okay, I have a 1. Okay.
It's not bad.
Okay.
Don't you have a -1?
Oh, wait, did I get it wrong? Oh no, I was reading somebody else's. You're right. I have a -1. Okay.
Okay. So maybe not.
That is harder.
Can I boost Proteus even though I'm not there?
Yeah, you know what? Because you saw them heading down that way, you can tell what they're doing. You could lend them a little bit of energy. We'll see what happens on their roll and whether you can save it. Plus, we've also got the team pool.
Well, I got a 9.
Got a 9. So the boost, like a Corona purple energy. So you will smash into one of these guys, like out of the corner of his eye. He's like an octa, and then we're knocked down. You need to pick 2 from directly engage a threat from those result list.
1 second. Reading. I pick 2. I'm gonna say frighten the opposition.
Okay, yeah, I think. Oh my god!
Oh my god! There's a giant octopus in this building, and avoid their blows.
Okay, good, because otherwise you would mark a condition. So this third guy kind of does like reassess, but he really wants to try get his good shot in on you. What do you want to do, Rhinestone?
So there's 2 guys still.
Just one guy left at this point.
Oh, one. Because the other one was just taken out.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just see this mass of an octopus and an unconscious minion.
Well, the obvious thing is to attack them, but
it is.
I would love it if there was an opportunity for me to actually defend the guy from a threat, but maybe because the building is almost on the brink of collapse.
Yeah. Do you want to try and rather than attacking him, try to get him out of here and the others out safely?
Yeah, that's what I think this has been going long enough. We need to get out of here because we're going to be smashed by the falling debris any second now.
Roll with Savior.
Yeah. My Savior is 2.
Oh.
It's 7.
That is a 7. So it will cost you.
Mm-hmm.
You can expose yourself to danger, or you can escalate the situation.
Expose myself.
Okay, so I think what it is we see you kind of, with your martial skills, throwing them over, onto the place of safety. But I think then that's when the roof right above you collapses down and you are pinned under burning wreckage right now, caught by that smoke. The building isn't collapsing yet because that would have been the other choice. But you are pinned, and you hope that your friends will be able to save you. You managed to save those 3 minions. You did what was right.
Okay. And also, can I use my move? I'll show them. Which is
yes.
Defend someone who doesn't believe in you. I think they don't believe in me.
Absolutely.
So I can take influence over them even on a miss.
Yeah.
So,
So put
Okay.
like tactical team,
okay.
and we'll know that's those three guys.
So they count as a unit.
Yeah, and they clearly, like, they know you could have killed them. They know you could have left them for dead, but you didn't.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Right now, you've got that sort of brief set of moments here before you realize you're going to hit the ground. Gigaweight. What do you want to do?
Do I see Rhinestone get pinned?
Yeah, let's say you do. Even as you're falling to the ground here.
Mm-hmm. Then yeah, I will attempt to save them.
Okay. So I feel like this is going to be unleashing your powers and then probably taking a powerful blow immediately after that. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
Let's
have you roll freak first.
Okay. So instead of freak, I rolled danger for this.
Yeah.
And what happens is he's just like falling, seeing Yes Man just like up in the sky or whatever. Like everything slows down. He just like flashes back to all the mess ups he did throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
But then he just sees his like rival in danger and just like reacts. His like left arm, like instead of like the muscles, just like adding density, it like helps like extend the arm, so he to like catch himself on the building and tries to like go towards Rhinestone. All right,
have you roll.
Come on. In theory, I'm good at this. All right, there we go. That's a 12.
Okay. So Rhinestone, you pinned under, and then that the wall bursts apart, the wreckage that's over you bursts down, and you see Mega Weight there before this hand comes up, grabs him, and slams him into the side of the building. Would you take a powerful blow as Yes Man is swinging you head first into a support beam?
Would my previous action count as taking foolhardy actions without talking to your team?
I think that's definitely reasonable.
All right, so this is a straight roll then. Come on. Okay, it's an 8.
It's an 8. So what do you want to pick as your 7 and 9 result for the take the powerful blow?
7 to 9. 1, 2, 3. I think at this point, it's most fitting to give ground to Yes Man because of all the damage I've done.
Yeah, he throws you through the building.
Yeah,
and you hit the sidewalk on the other side and skid out in front of everybody out there.
Yeah, and he's not Superman, so he's not like barely injured. He's like Wolverine healing factor, so he looks rough when he like skids along the ground.
Big crunch. You see that exchange. The collapse of the building, then Gigaweight, pulling Rhinestone out, but then Yes Man grabbing and throwing him through the building, and you can see the building is starting to. What do you do, Big Crunch?
I think that Crunch is going to unleash his powers to reshape the environment. So he's going to like change the gravitational constant of this building so that it does not collapse. So that people have a chance to get out and get to safety. So I'm going to be rolling plus freak.
Yeah.
All right, it's a 10. So
that is a 10. What do we like? What do we see on panel? What does the shot of you look like?
So it's I think since he's above the top of the building, he's flown back over there. He's kind of pushing down on the building, and it's the waves of this purple energy that are flowing throughout the entire building and holding it together.
Awesome. Proteus, you see that 2 of your teammates are in danger. Rhinestone who's been freed from the fiery pinning, and then well, he's not in immediate danger because Yes Man hasn't followed up yet, but Gigaweight is down there on the ground.
So I think Gigaweight just has like a thumbs up in the air, just like a broken thumbs up.
Yeah, and this is immediately after Rhinestone got those 3 people out and to like threw them up on the roof to safety. So you're probably closest to Rhinestone at this point.
But Rhinestone's already escaped the building.
No, the pinning has been removed from Rhinestone, but she's still up there on that floor. So you can exchange words here.
So yeah, maybe I exchange words with Rhinestone. Say, should we go help Joey or Gigaweight? That's what it is. Gigaweight, right? Are you up for it?
What do you think, Rhinestone? Adam?
Ooh, he might have frozen on us.
I thought we put him to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're
right.
It
is like 4 or 5 in the morning there in Poland.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, he's playing.
Adam, that's crazy.
But he may have also frozen. So what do you want to do? Assuming that Rhinestone, like she has the skills to successfully acrobatics down this building if she wants.
Right.
So she's not in immediate danger.
She's
so the
not
question,
in immediate danger anymore. So
yeah.
So yeah, I guess I want to go help. Oh, we lost.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to go help Gigaweight.
Okay.
So that seems to be the most pressing problem. That's the remaining pressing problem, right?
So how do you want to do this? Do you want to try and just scoop them and get them out of there? Do you want to try and stop Yes Man? Do you want to do something else?
Oh, he's back. I think.
I'm sorry, my connection froze for a moment.
Yeah, we were afraid we put you to sleep.
You had your eyes closed in the freeze. I think. Because I have a crush on him too. I just want to factor that into my mind.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember all these entanglements. So I think I'm going to want to save him.
Okay.
Yeah, so to grab him and pull him out of the reach of Yes Man.
Then I think if you can make a successful defend, you can scoop and get him out of there. You realize that Yes Man can't fly. Yes Man, it can only do super leaps. So if you can get a hold of him and successfully defend, you can get him out of there.
Yeah. All right. And that is with which stat again?
It is Savior.
Is with Savior. Okay. I don't think I have much in Savior either. I'm a 0. Okay. I will give it right. This could go wrong. Ooh, it went very wrong. It's a 3.
So what do we need to get to a 6 to have a success, right?
We need to get to a 7.
Oh my lord.
7 to get,
it would require
1, 2.
Do you still have a boost to give?
Yeah, so I could give him the boost, and then are all 3 teams still there?
There's 2 teams, I think.
There's only 2 teams.
Shucks.
That's 3. God, I think.
What happens if I don't defend? Wait a second.
So here is what I think happens, Proteus. I think you swoop down, you grab up Gigaweight, but he is significantly heavier than you thought. And I think when you go flying along, you knock over a fire engine, you send police and firemen scattering, people run for cover as you drag him through there, and just this gouging chaos, and it is all caught on camera.
Yeah, it's really gruesome. Like chunks of me get like taken off along the way.
So you get him free, but it's a publicity nightmare.
You hear, "Thank you," like jaw just hanging.
That'll heal.
And I think, if I may, Rhinestone, you and Crunch can disappear off into the night for the four of you to regroup. And I think that's kind of where we're going to cut for today. Is we'll cut with the four of you regrouping at your hideout next time. So we do want to ask this for the end of session, whether you grow closer to the team, grow into your image of yourself, or grow away from the team. And there are some, there's obviously market potential is a thing, but there's some other things that can happen there. So Gigaweight, do you think you grew closer to the team? Kind of.
I think I grew away from the team because at this point he doesn't feel like good enough to be part of the team after today.
So who do you want to take influence away from? Who has influence over you right now?
It would be probably Big Crunch, because he doesn't want to he looks up to Big Crunch the most, and he doesn't want to look at him. He's just very embarrassed at this point.
Okay. So Big Crunch will lose your influence over Gigaweight. Rhinestone, do you think you grew closer to the team, into your image of yourself, or away from the team?
I'm afraid it's away from the team as well, because
Okay.
I was reminded painfully of my past and of my previous alignments, and I actively brought danger onto my new team by my old associations. So
yeah.
So
They don't know that yet. You're going to have to explain that to them.
Yeah.
Who do you want to take influence away from?
Probably Gigaweight.
Okay.
Because of that situation when I tried to create an opportunity, and he turned his back and left me to fend for myself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that was fair, by the way, because I remember what my father once did to you when you squared off against him. So I feel that was totally deserved, but I can't help but feel there's a wedge between us now.
Yeah.
Big Crunch, which direction have you gone?
I feel closer to the team.
Okay.
Because I think that Crunch realizes that that the rest of the folks can solve their own problems, and they don't have to rely on. He doesn't have to feel so much like he's relying on or taking care of everyone.
Okay. Who of the other three made you feel welcome?
I really felt like I owe a debt to Proteus, because Proteus went in and saved Gigaweight at the very end.
Okay.
Caused massive collateral damage.
Now, here's the thing. Proteus, you already have influence over Big Crunch. So Crunch give influence to you. So now what you need to do is you need to shift one of Big Crunch's labels up and one of them down.
I'm moving his labels?
Yeah. Because you kind of like you have more influence. You kind of are telling him who you think he is.
Mm-hmm. Big Crunch. Oh, there we are. I am going to move his savior up one.
Okay.
And there's this whole image like he's is it freak or danger that he's like I'm not sure exactly what.
Danger is dangerous to be around. Freak is kind of like not fitting in, not human, not right.
Oh, I'll move his danger down one.
Okay. Is that okay with you, Big Crunch?
Yeah.
And Big Crunch,
thank you.
You get to clear a condition then.
All right. I'll clear angry. Thank you.
Yes. And Proteus, closer into your image of yourself or away?
And I don't do the connection to the team one. I do this one instead.
Oh, that is the one. The connect. Do you feel the end
Do
of
I
session?
choose one of those questions to answer, or
Yeah, it's at the end of each session, you're going to choose if you grew closer to the team, if you grew into your image of yourself, or you grew away from the team. It's sort of they make a choice of those three.
one of those three?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Proteus interacted with each team member, and also like so. Big Crunch helped him, save the people on the roof. He came in, giant octopus, to help Rhinestone. And then, although he kind of fucked it up, he did actually save Gigaway. So he's feeling really connected to the team, I think.
Okay.
So I think that's the one that jumps out at me.
So who do you want to give influence to? Like, who has influence over you? The person that kind of you connected with?
So should it be someone that already has it, or does it matter? It could be anybody.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just who you think.
I think I'm going to give maybe Big Crunch influence over me, because he was really helping me and working with me during this caper.
And he already has influence over you. So reciprocally, he will now choose to shift one of your labels up and one down.
Okay.
So do I still have influence on Proteus then going forward?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So I don't want to mess you up here, Jose.
Do whatever fictionally correct. Yeah.
Well, Savior seems like it really manifested. You saved the folks from the rooftop, then you saved Giga, and so I think if you would, I think you should boost Savior one.
Okay.
Mundane. So roughly what does mundane mean here, Lowell?
So if we look at the basic moves, what that connects to, mundane is used for example for Pierce the Mask, for kind of reading other people and understanding them.
Okay, so I don't think I want to change that. Let's see. Superior is assess the situation.
It's also used for comforting and supporting other people.
Well, we're talking, about mundane still. Okay, so that I don't want to adjust that because I think I've already put Savior up one. I think it would mark Superior down one.
Okay.
Awesome. So as we do, so everyone will get an advance. So you may either you can take a look at the list for advances. Usually you're going to want to choose a new cool move. But the other thing that you can do, if you decide you don't, like you can also unlock your moment of truth. Moment of truth are a thing that you spend. It's usually a big like late campaign thing to like completely reshape the fiction of a scene. So that is also on the table as a possibility. Would you all mind doing a quick stars and wishes here for the end of session? Just a couple of thoughts. So again, stars, things that you liked about other players' play, things you liked in terms of the setup, anything like that. And then wishes are particularly things that we've got one session, we've got 3 hours though, so it's a good long session. Things you definitely would like us to try and hit on next time. So Adam, can I start with you?
Sure. Stars. Well, I loved the way how we hit the ground running with the mutual accusations and and blaming each other for what happened. And I it's hard for me to single anyone out. Everyone had great ideas during the whole action that we were involved in. I really liked the way you kept the pace up, Lowell, and the way you guided us through some of the moves, even if sometimes we didn't have a clear idea of what to do. Mm-hmm. You pushed things in the right direction, so to keep it moving. So I really appreciate that. As for wishes, well, I'm sure you already plan to introduce my father at some point, but
Okay.
it would of course be nice to see that. I would like us to have this opportunity to maybe heal a little, to talk to each other, have a quiet moment of reconnection, of maybe hit some comfort and support.
Yeah.
Because we are in need of that, I think.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll definitely kind of start out in a place where you can catch your breath, talk, and do that interaction. That's a good point.
And I guess that's it for me.
Okay. Paul?
Stars, just in general for the game, because I haven't really played in it. I've only like watched actual play and like read the rules. And then just the game is just playing it, you can really feel how good it is at creating those like asynchronous relationships. Because like I understand how my character sees everyone, but then whenever everyone else describes their perspectives on things, it's like, oh, that also does make 100% sense, and it makes really cool dynamics. Star for Adam for really like figuring out like what the implications of that scene between Giga and Rhinestones are. That was really fun. Star for Mark for like basically just like doing the Nova thing of like everyone is like messing around, but then the Nova kind of just like overpowers the whole situation clearly, like really showcasing that playbook. And Star for Jose for making such like a really like fleshed out background for their character. That's really fun. And Star for Lowell for making such like a action-packed scene, and for like going along with like any sort of ideas I had for the things that were gonna happen. I really appreciate that. So yeah. And for wishes, just to see like what happens next. I'm just like looking forward just to see what happens.
Awesome. Mark?
Yeah, so stars, first of all, Lowell, obviously it's like watching you GM this is like, yeah, I'm just GMing masks, and it's like the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. And you're so smooth and cool about it. So thank you. It's amazing. It was without being hyperbolic, it was mind-blowingly fun to do this tonight. So thank you.
Oh, good.
And Jose, it's fun to play with you every time. I love your character. It's like, and I felt, I could feel like when you were talking about the character, you really bought into and latched onto that alien aspect of the character. And Rhinestone, I'm sorry, Rhinestone, Adam. Great job. I just loved all your backstory and how that's coming into play. So you gave so much to work with that it's nice to see it kind of come into play with that. Thank you for that. And Paul, thank you so much. It's just like playing this playbook to the hilt, and amazingly good and so funny. I chose a star right when you said that Giga was sadly eating a protein bar on the bench. That was like the moment when I was like, okay, I have a star for this session at the very least. So that was awesome. I love the way you played Giga 8. And wishes, I'd love to see. I'd love to kind of find out what's going on with Mega 8, kind of solve that mystery.
Okay.
And put Yes Man in his place.
All right. Wait. Put Yes Man in his place. Awesome. And Jose.
Wow, this is my first time ever playing this, so I had a lot to get used to, but Lowell, thank you for making it so smooth, and I repeat what other people have said. This is just amazing, the way you keep the pace going and just, guide us in this gentle but very skillful way. So I really appreciate that. And I really appreciated just having the opportunity to at least, even in a battle, which is not normally my thing, to interact with each of the other characters, in some kind of meaningful way that has some fictional juice to it. And so I really appreciated all those moments. I feel like I got the least with Rhinestone, and so I'm maybe a wish is to have more opportunities there, because I'm curious about the whole backstory with Rhinestone and the villain parent. So so maybe there's a wish there. And Paul, just what Mark said, I just want to double down on that. The characterization is so great. You really leaned into it, and I really love that about it. So yeah, the image of moping around eating the power bar was perfect. And Mark, yeah, I enjoyed the interactions between our characters, at least on a battle level. I'm curious what it'll be like when we have more downtime and we get to actually talk with one another outside of that. So yeah, that's another, I guess that's a wish that's been mentioned already. So I will vote for it as well. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all so much. This is a pleasure to run. Great characters. I'm looking forward to seeing where we go next time and seeing all of you interact. I am going to stop the recording.